Hello. I am starting. I want to do this. I haven't been on here for a while, or at least I haven't done a live in a while, and I want to do a reading on this Scorpio full moon. For all my moon lovers out there, I just want to let me see if I can go live here on IG because I haven't done that in a while either. So bear with me. I know there's, oh, hey, whoever just came in, let me know who it is. If you want to just say hi, drop a heart, like the video or whatnot, because I'm about to start. I just want to go on my Instagram too. So I want to talk about, what is illuminated, what things we need to release to like during this time. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, y'all. You will see me looking back and forth at the camera. Just letting you know, okay? Or maybe I'll just put this over here for right now. Okay. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. Who's watching? I want to know who's watching. I want to know. We're going to get into some things. Of course, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be looking at both cameras. I'm on YouTube and Instagram. I decided to go live. Haven't gone live in a minute. Okay. Let's talk about this full moon. It's a pink moon. I read it's pink because of the reflection, something with the sailors. I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know, it's in Scorpio. And this means this is like some deeper, beyond surface level energy. So I am going to read the chakra energy today, and then we're going to talk about, what this collective energy is being illuminated for those, especially those that are tuning in, and, how to transform this, what really needs to be released. Now we're going to transform this energy, all right? So I'm going to get into this reading right now. If anybody wants to say hello right now would be the perfect time, because when I do my readings, I kind of like to stay in the zone. So, like this video or just comment with a heart, say what's up, so I can say, hey. And yeah, I know my background is looking a little, but I've been a little bit working on a lot of creative stuff, y'all, so bear with me. All right, so if nobody wants to say hey, let's just tap into this energy right now, all right? Actually, I never show this on camera, but you guys know this is my spray. Just love to just help me ground the energy and bring clear intentions, all right? So let's begin. What does the collective need to know? What is the chakra, main chakra that we'll be focusing on during this collective time of this full moon energy? Whoa. Okay. Ooh, creative energy. And my most favorite, creative blocks. I used to read this as impasse. I don't know if I'm French or this is the French version of how to say it, but this is impasse. Clearly you can see that there is someone blocking. And it's funny, look, there's a full moon right there too. There's a full moon, which to me shows that there's a lot of, suppressed energy as well as subconscious energy that we feel free about, that's been keeping us caged in. And, creative energy as well right now. It's spring. I'm just going to say it because, I know that these people that watch this are adults here. A lot of times, like I just saw an image of a rabbit. And it's funny, 2 days ago when I was out in nature, I saw a rabbit cross the street. And at first I'm like, is that a cat? Lord knows my eyes need to be examined sometimes, but it was a little further away. I couldn't tell. But I think how it was moving, I was like, yeah, that was a rabbit. And rabbits, as well as cats, actually are symbols of fertility. And when we think of the word fertility, we think of women, we think of giving birth, and giving birth doesn't necessarily mean a child. You could be giving birth to a business. Sometimes we look at our businesses as children, because we're spending so much time and energy cultivating, nourishing, and showing off sometimes, like, hey, have you seen my baby? But then on the other spectrum, sometimes people want to protect it and nurture it in a way that is away from the public and showing it off, um, maybe because of insecurities, maybe because of they just don't feel like it's time to show or bring in other energies into that forefront. So this is what happens during a creative process as well. There is a gestation phase where you're figuring out the process, you're figuring out the ebbs and flows, and you're also figuring out mistakes, trial and error phase through anything that you create, whether it's a child, whether it's a business, whether it is a just an idea, a creative idea that you want to. Sometimes people, I know you guys see my paintings in the background. Sometimes, not only just me, but other artists too, they work on paintings for days, months, maybe even years. There's trials and errors. And if you know tricks about paintings and paint, there's ways that you can. I'm sure somebody's like, how do you work on a painting for years or even months? There's ways. Depending on what medium you use, if you're using acrylic per se, you need the acrylic to dry and then you paint over. For oil, I have not really quite worked with oil, but from what I've heard and read about, oil takes a long time to dry. So it allows more room for mistakes and fixing and touch-ups. So this is what you learn when you're going through a process of creating. Again, like I said, whether it's a child, I'm sure if there's anybody that's watching that has children, especially with their first child, they're like, there is no rule book. Your mom, if you have a great relationship with your mom can tell you what they did for you. But every child is different. Every birth is different. And just like a child or a physical thing, every idea is different. And you have to learn how to maneuver and, be willing to do those trial and errors, because honestly, when I was younger, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, because y'all know I like to keep it real. Like, I don't like rejection, and a lot of times I felt that on my entrepreneurship, my journey as an entrepreneur, it was like really like, all right, cool. Like, it was annoying, and I found myself being stuck and blocked creatively because of just hearing so many no's. And it was like, when can I get a yes? And when I got that yes, then it was like, it wasn't the right person to work with. And then I got all these other yeses that weren't the right people to work with. And this is the thing, you have to realize, be in tune with yourself, be aligned, and be willing to ebb and flow. Be willing to ride the wave and know when to sit back on the shore. And just like in this, just with creativity, there's always, always, always trial and error. Failure is not necessarily something that means that you didn't win or you aren't doing your best. It's something about learning from those mistakes and knowing, like, gaining more wisdom, like learning a lesson, you know what I mean? So sometimes the biggest blocks can redirect us into something else, right? And sometimes, what was I going to say? And sometimes blocks just might mean like, hey, this is a stop and we need to work on some stuff. And nothing is wrong with you because you need to work on something. Nothing is wrong with you because you need extra help. It's just the fact that a lot of us are uncomfortable of being vulnerable and saying, hey, I need help. Because I know I have. And I'm going to keep it funky with y'all. I know I have. But I've grown from that. And that's the real prize, to grow and learn that lesson. So this is what this Scorpio full moon is really about. I'm going to get deeper into this, of course, because like I said, this is a collective reading, of course. And, I want to talk about what's really being illuminated for the collective through my own voice and through my own energy, what really needs to be released and how we're going to transform that energy. And right off the back, looking at the sacral chakra, it really seems like we need to acknowledge certain blocks so we can push forward down the best path that is right for you and your greater good. Because sometimes we get so driven, we may think like, oh, I have to do this, right? And this may not be the path anymore. It may be a dead end and you don't even realize that. This person here in this card could be like, look, halt, don't go there. This is a dead end. You know what I'm saying? And it's telling you need to stop, chill out, and refresh, recharge, and understand. Feel, tune into your own spirit and what you're feeling within your mind and your heart so you can find that alignment and really be like, okay, I know I'm on the right path now. Let me redirect or let me collect myself and push through. Because you can only go so much pushing up a boulder uphill. You're bound to get tired. So I'm going to get into this reading. Instagram, if you know my YouTube page, come on through because I'm going to finish this with my YouTube. And just click that link in the bio. YouTube, we're going to get into this right now. All right. So thank you y'all for watching, and I will see you soon. Okay. Okay, so let's get into what needs to be illuminated, right? So let's go. Let's see, YouTube fam. What needs to be illuminated here? I've always wondered how people like pause their live videos. I don't need to pause it. I'm going to keep it real funky for you. What? All right, let's see. I don't need to pause that. So let's see. What needs to be illuminated? Okay. Yeah, this is what it seems like. I have the Six of Pentacles for what needs to be illuminated right here in reverse. And I feel like what needs to be illuminated here is really about, I think it's about partnerships. And I think it's about giving and receiving as well. I'm pulling the card to... Let's pull. What card do we hear? Okay. Yeah, so like we're trying to figure out, this is very interesting. I feel like a lot of truths are coming to the surface, truths as in things that you've been working on for yourself, things that you've been trying to understand with other people as well, because we do have the Six of Pentacles here, as well as the Ace of Swords. And again, it's more so like what has been working, what hasn't been working. What's been working, what hasn't been working. That's like basically kind of all that I'm seeing, hearing. And then I just saw when I said seeing, like a seesaw, trying to find that balance, if you guys been working with other people, if you've been working with other people, you're trying to find that balance, trying to see like who you can collaborate with, what makes sense, what doesn't. I think collectively we've all been figuring out here trial and error. Five of Pentacles, right? Abandonment issues. Leaving things behind, being forced to leave too, also. What else am I getting to? Inner child work, you're trying to figure out. I think a lot of us also, oh, another five too, transformation for real. Five of Wands. There has been a lot of conflicting energy, right? That is being shown during this full moon now, that it's like, if you don't know, you're going to get that revealed with this Ace of Swords here, right? But if you do know and you have been working, it's like more clearness. It's almost like someone's wiping the windows for you with some Windex and like, here, let me wipe this a little bit more so you really can see clear. The fog is being removed and you're able to see a clearer view of what you've been wanting to work on, and your intentions are coming to the surface, because I really feel like we've all came a long way. Like, let's just even think about it. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to go there, but I kind of don't. I'll just touch base with this. Like, if you think about us collectively with the word COVID, right? We've all been trying to figure out truths. We've all been trying to figure out what the best way for us, to be healthy in a way. You know what I mean? And I'm just using that as an example because it's a collective. But since there's been a lot of different conflicting energies, he said, she said, all that stuff, it's kind of hard to figure out your own truth, right? So I think collectively we've kind of been going through this process independently, no matter what you're working on, whether you're working on your health, whether you're working on your business, whether you're working on a relationship, platonically, co-worker relationship, or romantic, you're trying to figure out what's best for you so you can show up the best way possible and really know clearly this is not working and clearly what is working. So it's like, okay, I can choose better now. I know I can be more open to receive love. I know I can be more giving to give love. And this is really what's been coming forward to the surface. I keep looking at this truth thing. I want to dig a little bit deeper into this right now. Clarity has definitely come through from Lunar T. I know that's right. And the thing about truths, right? People sometimes think, because like the saying goes, there's always two sides to a story, but there's multiple sides because everybody has their own perspective, right? But what I like to say is the true always stays the same. There's an individual truth and there's a collective truth. And you have to, at many times, understand your own truth so you can see the true, if that makes sense, right? Because it's kind of like somebody could tell you for years that the sky is teal. And it's like, well, kind of. Or the sky is pink, right? And you're like, well, it is pink sometimes. But at the end of the day, you know that the sky is this certain blue at its clearest point, and that's the true, right? But then there's different variations. Because what if I'm colorblind? You know what I'm trying to say? So I think here, yes, I'm getting here Seven of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and King of Wands, and let's talk about this creative energy again. There has been new things on the table, and there's been a lot of things that have been thrown our way. So many different things that have been thrown our way, where there has been kind of like confusion, right? And then it leads us to question, where do I start? Where do I begin? Right? And Ace of Swords is always about new beginnings. And Swords is that mental energy, truth. That's why I say truth. Things that you've been pondering on, where to start, it's coming through. And it's just all aligning. That's when you know that you're aligned too with the seasons. Because like Mother Earth, we call Mother Earth Mother because this is our home. We're humans home here. And it grows. It dies as well it grows. And what happens to us? What happens to all the living things here on this Mother Earth, this sphere. The same thing. So these seasons that we go through, right? We have winter, things are pretty much dying, and then we have spring, and new things are flourishing. You know, all the things from the harvest season in the fall that we, almost like a squirrel, right? It stores its nuts away for the winter, and then springtime comes, and their reproduction system winds up happening, you know? So it's a plethora of things that are coming and have been you've been like trying to figure some things out, right? But I think that um this new creative wave is coming forward that's really going to allow us to understand where to start and how to start. All right. So let's move forward to this Knight of Swords here, because Knight of Swords we got. I think this Knight of Swords is the answers, you know, is the things that are coming, but it's also talking about how in the past, as well as possibly even now, we went through this process of kind of impulsive, because the Knight of Swords is very quick. You know, it just comes in like boom. And like I was saying, almost like information overload, where we had so many options. It was just like, let me try this, let me try that, let me try this, okay, let me try that. And then it's like, wait a second, can we pause? Can we pause for a second? And I think this full moon is doing that. When we pause, you know, if anybody's feeling really tired, having some back pains or anything like that, you need to chill out. You need to chill out. Because when you can chill out, when you're not chasing for answers, that's when the answers come. When you realize that you're moving all over the place, you know, prime example that I like to give a lot of times too is, you know, if you're driving at 80 miles an hour, chances are you're going to miss a lot of things, because one, you're trying to pay attention to the road, but two, you're driving by it fast. If you're driving by the same road at 10 miles an hour, you're going to be able to see more things because you're going slower. Let me just tap into this energy. What needs to be released right now, Spirit? How are we going to release things so we can, you know, make room for what's new? I'm picking up some things about issues with money. You need to release that. You know, that's been blocking some of people's creative endeavors. If there's a need to see certain things from a bigger view here. Let me get one more card. There's a need for us to see something from a bigger view. Because what really needs to be released is that, like, there's a need for us to slow down. It's almost like there is something physical that needs to be released. Kind of going back to what I was saying about washing the windows. There may have been like a stain or something that's in the window that's blocking you from really seeing the clear picture. That's funny that you said your back, because I'm definitely feeling some tension in my back, and it didn't start until I just started doing this. So, all right. So I'm getting like a lot here, and I'm just going to, I feel like this is the energy though that I'm talking about. It's like there's just so much stuff that's going on. There's a need to, point blank and simple, sit your ass down. That's what needs to be released, is the need to know all the time, right? The need to sporadically move all the time. We don't need to do that. We just need to pretty much slow down a little bit and literally stop and smell the roses. Be grateful for what we have right now, because I think that there was, from last season, there was like such an urgency to move because we felt so stagnant. And it's like, I'm trying all these things haven't been working, I'm getting upset. And it's like, with that energy, it's just like, and you know, sometimes people want to just lift tables because it's like, you're like, let me throw this laptop out the way, shit isn't working. And I totally get that. I totally get that. But on the other end, you have to remember, how do we stay calm? How can we center ourselves so we can really understand the answers coming our way? Because with you all caught up in your emotions, you're going to not really see, you're going to miss what is being given here. Because I also have this Four of Cups here in reverse. And it's kind of like, some of you may have, you know, felt depressed from certain things not going your way, or just been in this muck energy that's like, all right, or kind of also just like, it's almost, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's just kind of like this hoarding energy here. It's no Four of Pentacles, but I don't know why I keep hearing Four of Pentacles. And it's like, that's why I'm kind of thinking of like holding on to your money a little bit, like too tightly. When people do that, sometimes it like stops the flow of currency, and then it's like you're not able to receive. But there is a need to find like the balance, you know. Anybody that knows how to drive a clutch, it's all about timing. If you hit the clutch, if you lift the clutch too quick, you know, you'll stall out. If you push the pedal on the gas a little bit too quick, it starts that jerking thing. We need to find this ebb and flow. And what really needs to be released is, again, like the need to know, and what needs to be accepted is the need to flow. You know, and I'm just looking at this guy. Yes, he could be blocking, but he could also be like, hey, relax, be open to something coming new here. Because it's a lot. There's a lot of energy coming through. And for us to receive and understand things on a deeper level, there's a need for you to be still with yourself, and find your center. Because we're talking about Scorpio, like, to my knowledge, rules subconscious energy. When you bring things from your subconscious to conscious energy, that's a lot of energy, one. Two, again, many times you're not going to understand it fully until you're able to just kind of like be in more of a chill mode, a homeostasis mode, a centered mode. Because that's where we find our epiphanies, when we're like, like, you know what I mean? That's where, when that subconscious idea comes to the forefront, you're like, just like your intuition, when you're moving around too much and you're kind of in this survival mode, you can't really grasp what your intuition is really trying to tell you. For the space of transformation, this is all about rest here. This is what I'm talking about. It's funny, there's a lot of mental energy here, that I've picked up. Because when we're talking about the sacral chakra as well, when it's overactive, it's like you're like go, 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 sporadic. You know, like there's a need for you to find pleasure. Subconsciously, that's what you're doing. You're like, I need this, I need that, I need to create, I need to do this, I need to, you're kind of trying to overindulge. But then at the same time, you're exerting so much energy, it's becoming like your body's becoming too tense. Things that were once pleasurable are not. That's what happens with an overactive sacral. Things don't flow anymore. Let's see what this is. Yeah, magic. It's time to really like, look at this, the Magician. The clarity comes with the rest. And as for what you said, Lunar T, you know, clarity has definitely come through. You know, if you don't mind, when the clarity came through, do you remember what you were doing? Because sometimes we don't know what we're doing, right? Sometimes we don't. It just happens. But I really want to confidently say 9 times out of 10, when that clarity comes through, it's it's more than likely when you're kind of just by yourself doing things from a more centered, aligned self, because when you're centered, when you're aligned, you're able to align that higher self with the lower self, you know? And that's alignment, just like aligning your chakras. Um, when you get energy work done, you're resting. The practitioner is the one doing the work. You're resting, you're open, and you're receiving. And anything like the popular term Reiki, you're resting, you're open, and you're receiving. And you are the practitioner is aligning, or if you are aligning your own chakras, you're in a state of mind and your body is at rest. It does go out of whack at times, but just like life, everything that you do when you're trying to heal or be aligned, it doesn't necessarily stay aligned, but it's your responsibility to keep that alignment. You want to say that you were meditating and then got inspiration and was listening to, yes, exactly, absolutely. And that's the thing here. That's what meditation does for you. And I'm definitely a firm believer that, let's clarify this Four of Swords real quick. Meditation comes in different forms. Meditation is definitely about being still, but it's also about being focused. And when you're doing meditation, which this Four of Wands also talks about, right? Many times if you're not meditating in a still way, you're finding more focus to understand your thoughts, and aligning so you can receive more answers, because I meditate through creating things. I can meditate also through walking, it's about focus more so, and then that mindfulness that helps you understand. And the more traditional, or I'll say traditional way to meditate is being still. But there are numerous ways to meditate. It's all about quieting the mind, not getting rid of the thoughts. It's quieting it. Because once it simmers down, you can hear and you can feel more. Exactly what I'm saying, right? And this is interesting too. So what I got for clarity with this Four of Swords here is this is so funny. 5 of Swords and 3 of Swords. And I think too, like, there have been a lot of emotions, which makes sense because sacral chakra is about emotions as well. There's been a lot of emotions blocking your way of receiving information. A lot of times we react from emotions again, and that's usually subconsciously. We react from whatever action just happened, and it tires us out, which brings us to the healing card, which brings us to the meditation card, which brings us to the rest card, which is like, look, something may have happened that was pretty emotional, didn't feel good, and subconsciously you may be telling yourself like, hey, just keep busy so I don't feel these emotions. But most people know when they sit still, they start feeling those emotions. And people don't want to feel that. But when you feel that, you're allowing it to run through you, and you're allowing it to be understood in a different way, a different perspective as well. And that's a healing moment. That's also revelation, revolutionary. I don't know, but it's definitely a pivotal moment for people as well, when you can learn to sit with uncomfortable emotions, and really understand Like, oh, okay, from a different perspective, a different time frame. Um, and that's also a way that you can transform this energy as well. Because I did feel like, of course, this was talking about your sacral chakra, but I always like to talk about the heart center because the heart center is the main, it's in the middle of the 7 chakras that are aligned. We have more than 7, but the main ones that we have, that we talk about, that pretty much hold most of our energy, are the 7. And the middle one, which is the heart chakra, really magnifies a lot of energy. And it's almost like, what goes on at the top has to be transmuted through the heart so it can align with the bottom and vice versa. That's what I'm learning. And I think that here there was a need for some people to really just resonate, feel safe, feel good with themselves, no matter if somebody did something to you. It's like, hey, this was for me, not to you, as most people say. Because it's like, hey, somebody could just be like, oh, you fat, bleep, bleep, bleep. And it's like, oh, how dare that person? They just talk to me like that, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? If you see that moment from your higher self, you'll be like, you know what? Thank you, mother. Like, thank you for saying that because it just showed me how I reacted. Because you can always react from a place of insecurity or a place of security and being secure with yourself, like F you, back to you type of thing. And not allow people that don't know you or know you to pull you down out of your element. That's the key here, and it's been a lot of that. And right now I feel like I'm kind of segueing out of certain things of this energy, which I want to bring full circle here, is that we've been growing, we've been working, whether you know it or not. And it's a big time for us to understand and celebrate where we are right now in this present moment. That will definitely help you transform your energy, transform the negative into positive energy. I'm looking for my little cards too, because I want to talk about this. Yeah, 9 of Wands. It's been a long road, and I feel like it's been a long time coming for a lot of us. And this is the thing. Take some rest. That's how we transform it. Take some rest, praise, be proud of where you are, where you came from, and then act accordingly from all that wisdom, all that knowledge gained from what didn't work, and apply it to new things on what needs to be worked here. Because there's a whole level and balancing that is going on right now that is going to also bring further understanding, further clarity, and more truth to situation where how and what you need to do to really just take off, spread those damn wings and fly. All right. I'm going to grab one more card from my Starseed deck and I'm going to wrap this up. But the main thing here is really about just releasing things that didn't work for you and really releasing the need to no, 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 and go, 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 like this impulsive energy, and really just find that balance, find that healing moment and restful time for you so you can really receive really receive things. And I always laugh because Spirit always brings things right on time. So I have this here. You don't have to be into ancient Egypt or Kemetic things to know that you see these pyramids. And also you see there's like pictures of the Egyptian gods going on here. It says star ancestors. Ugh, can't talk. Star ancestors. I'm not going to talk about star seeds right now because it can go a little bit deep. But let's just say there are ancient beings that we are connected to. I'll just say that. And this says star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. And this message is also for yourself that I want to just say. I'm going to read it out the book. But I'm picking up by looking at this again. You know, people tend to forget that we're all spiritual beings. Um, because we it's more than just skin, you know, it's more than just a nameplate or a job. It's more about our soul, our spirit, and the energy that we are holding and how we need to transform and transmute it, you know, to expand more. And by looking at this, you know, again, hidden secrets, lost wisdom. And when I say this out loud, it just reminds me of being truly empowered, finding that power within you, you know, releasing any baggage, any hurt, um any blocks, you know, things that did not feel good, things that really hurt, you know, emotions that really hurt, that have kept you from not really seeing the truth because maybe you've been so focused on what somebody did to you, or maybe so focused on how that energy hurt at that time. And all of that is valid. But there is a need in a time when you get up and you say, I don't want to feel this anymore. I want to grow. And this isn't stopping me from connecting to my soul and learning the lessons and really feeling that spirit move through me. We all have that, no matter if you're a certain type of religion, you know, whether you're an atheist, we all feel that and go through that. And that's where the balance of being a human being and a spirit being comes into play. Hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little bit deeper. That is so interesting that this came through. And I'm just going to say this and I'm getting out. This is like the longest one I think I've ever done. Maybe not, but you know, it's been a while, y'all. I don't do live readings that much anymore because I've been going through my own transformation. I'm like, look, y'all, I got some things I got to do too. So it says the ancients knew more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship created in precise alignment with the stars exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul. Tap into the parts of you that remembers and knows. Tap into, you know, I've also been thinking of inner child, you know, the time, the innocence that you had before the world looked so cruel and just negative to you. You know, there's always an innocence. Children carry that so much, you know, and it can be unfortunate when hurtful things happen to children, of course. You know, more in-depth trauma. I don't want to compare trauma because trauma really is just how your nervous system, your body reacts to a situation. Um, but you know, there's different levels to everything, right? I'm going to say this. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong. That's a nice point of view to look at it. When we do the unexpected, so often we create solutions. So often, a creative solution is right in front of us, but because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what is open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are so needed on the planet right now, to unlock your soul's memory of the time we lived in harmony on Earth, and one day will again. So this is hitting pretty deep, like, and I knew kind of to pull. I don't really use these cards, especially publicly, because me personally, I don't feel ready to talk about star seeds or whatnot. At a certain time, I just didn't want to use them. But this is the thing here, which I'm going to wrap up, is that we all really do know when we're not ready. We know when we're not ready to heal. We know that we're not ready to reveal things. And we know that, things are uncomfortable, and it's like, maybe I just want to be comfortable right now. And I'm here to tell you that that's okay. Because I've went through close relationships and kind of made it feel like it's not okay to do that. I'm one of those people that are kind of like risk takers and just go. But what I also found that it's okay to not be ready. It's not okay to disregard things and just stay stagnant. I don't feel that's okay. But you should listen to yourself and know when the best time to make move and do something different. Because just like they said in this book here, that's when you start creating. That's when you start creating something new, so you can evolve, so you can grow. Because that's creation. It's forming new things. It's doing new things and establishing new ways of being. So, to wrap it home, we're looking at how to break down the things that really haven't been serving us, emotions that haven't been serving us, ideas that haven't been serving us, people and places that have not been serving us, and really figuring out new ways so they can serve us through relationships, forming new relationships, or just forming new ways of being and cultivating new things. Yeah. So this all is a balance game. This all is trial and error. And I think that the best is yet to come. We've already did pretty much a lot of the work throughout our journey of wherever we're at right now. And we're being told from me in spirit. But the way that you can transform anything that hasn't been working for you right now during this full moon is by taking rest, is by, finding balance. And once you find more center and balance with yourself, you're going to be able to have that aha moment and then ask how, and figure out the best way possible for you to create something new within your life. Whether you're recultivating an old idea or starting from scratch and creating something new. So that's all I have. Woo! Thank you all that were watching this, because this was a long one, but thank you. You've been sticking with me this whole time. I'm very grateful to see this and talk with you. Anybody that has not came on here, if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Thank you for coming. Please share more comments, and because I love to respond to them, especially when I'm not doing live. But thank you, Lunar T, for being very vocal. It's such a pleasure for you to come through. I haven't seen you in a while. And yeah, I have new things that's popping as well. I have new products that I started. I'm focusing more on my products now. I do still do readings. If anybody needs one, just look in the links below and look at my new products, because they really help people jumpstart, really help people tune in. Sometimes we don't know where to tune in, and also expands your creativity. One idea may not be working, but there are some tools, there are some images, there are some things that can kind of cultivate more focus in just that creative energy that can really start bringing more creative thoughts, a creative mindset to really get those gears going. So check out the links below and look forward to more. And again, if you feel the vibe, please subscribe, like, share, and comment, all that jazz. And catch me next time. I'm out of y'all. Peace. Enjoy your full moon. See you next time.